The Duke's youngest son, British Army Captain Eddie, learns that his father's condition is serious. Ahmed takes him to the airport straight away to reunite with his siblings and his dying father. His father, the 12th Duke of Halstead, eventually passes away. After the funeral, Eddie and his sister Chuckles talk about their estate that has been in the family for over 600 years. Eddie believes that the entire estate will get handed down to his oldest brother Freddie. Eddie's siblings gather to listen to Ahmed reading the Duke's will. They're shocked to learn that the estate, including the yogurt farm, as well as the property in the south of France, go to Eddie. Freddie thinks Ahmed is joking and loses his temper. He calls his siblings snakes who conspired against him. Eddie learns that Freddie has a huge debt to pay off. He explains that he got involved in bad investments with Sticky Pete, who started making a fortune in property. He borrowed £4 million from a cocaine dealer called Tommy Dixon and his brother John the Gospel Dixon. A flashback shows the gangsters Tommy and the Gospel locking Freddie in a freezer and ordering him to pay 25% every week until the debt's paid. Now he owes them £8 million. Freddie begs Eddie to save him, but Eddie reminds him that the title has got no practical value and the business is broken, but he promises to look into it for him. The Duke didn't leave much money behind, and when Eddie consults Ahmed, the latter reminds him that he is asset-rich but cash-poor. Eddie learns that a client is interested in purchasing Halstead Manor and is willing to pay above the market value. As he needs the money by the end of the week, he asks Ahmed to set up a meeting with the client's lawyer. Susie Glass approaches Eddie and reveals that she used to be in business with his father. She drives him to the Halstead-owned dairy farm, where he is surprised to learn that his father was making £5 million in cash a year. She explains that the farm is a cover for an underground cannabis grow house. Each month, in return for generous consideration, the Duke let her carry out their activities with the necessary impunity. Eddie also learns that she has dozens of places like this all over the country. Susie wants to continue doing business with him as well. Eddie decides to take the house off the market and tells Susie about his brother's debt to a drug cartel. She promises to get him £4 million. Susie meets Tommy, who knows her father Bobby. She mentions Freddie's debt. Tommy agrees to write off $4 million in interest as long as Susie promises to get him the original $4 by the end of the week. Tommy wants Freddie to apologize in a recording for posterity. Eddie meets Stanley Johnston and tells him that the land is not for sale. He then learns that Stanley is fond of wine, so he sells him some cases of rare wine from the cellar and makes millions of pounds. He plans to use that plus the money in the safe to clear his brother's debt. However, Eddie finds the safe empty as his brother took the money and used it to make a bet on an underground boxing fight with Sticky Pete. Eddie loses his temper because his brother hasn't learned his lesson yet. Susie and Eddie head to the ring. Eddie confronts Pete, but the latter refuses to give the money back. Susie learns that Pete scammed his brother. He never places the bets and preys on the posh. Susie offers to talk to him. Her goons beat up Pete and get the money back. Freddie learns that Tommy wants him to do a dance and sing the apology dressed as a chicken while being filmed. He refuses to do it, but Eddie says he has no choice. Eddie and Susie meet with Tommy and his assistant Jethro, who counts the money. Freddie accepts to put on the chicken suit and perform the apology dance as long as he doesn't film him, but Tommy refuses to back down. Freddie snorts some coke and gets ready to dance. Tommy orders him to be a chicken, peck the grain, and fly off. Eddie steps in, but Tommy screams at him not to interfere. Freddie heads to the toilet and comes out with a shotgun. He then shoots Tommy's head off.